1 year ago, the Great Collateral Experiment was framed as the art of the possible. Now the possible is becoming a reality. Later this year, the tokenization service will be launched, and also the Collateral AppChain will be launched as a real production product. What do you think?
Right, so it's a realization of what we did a year ago, and it's super exciting to me. And again, it's why I wanted to be part of it full time, was seeing that possibility translate to reality. A lot of times, and we've done this throughout the course of time with blockchain initiatives, there have been really cool experiments or really cool ideas or really cool pilots that haven't been able to scale. And we really had a plan here to say, well, let's demonstrate to the world what we can do. Let's work towards bringing the assets that we have under custody in tokenized form, and then put the pieces together to build the app chain, the collateral app chain, to be able to deploy those assets, and along with the other assets that we've talked about. So when the collateral app chain is live, it won't only be used for DTC's assets that are in token form. It will enable all those other assets, so stable coins, crypto assets, tokenized money market funds, and any other type of assets. So it really widens the scope of what can be brought to bear with respect to deploying collateral.
So the Great Collateral Experiment, it was just that. It was great, and it was an experiment. But why is it important in your view now to move away from experimentation and into real production processes?
So first and foremost, the market is demanding it. The market has seen what can be done, has seen what's possible, and they want it in production. We have some of the largest, most important financial institutions as members, as clients of ours, and they're really eager to move this forward. So it's not just us bringing tools to bear and the utility that we have, it's let's make this happen together. And again, that collaborative environment that we built through the experiment is happening again, but building towards a production scale process.
Yeah, I mean, an experiment has a hypothesis. Our hypothesis was that using blockchain rails and digital assets, you could really dramatically improve the collateral management process, gain operational efficiencies, capital efficiencies, and it would just be an absolute sea change. Based on the reaction from the market, the industry groups that we've put together and working groups, I think it's really proven out that hypothesis.
Yeah, and one of the things I would say, and this is something I know that you're much more experienced with collateral management than me, but one of the things, one of the light bulb moments I would say that goes off is when we talk about the idea of having this long box, this ability to have your pool of assets together and knowing how they can be deployed to whom in one single place. And again, that mutual experience where one client may have that, but another client is having the same experience and they're able to interoperate. And that really is a key differentiator to what exists today, where if you're delivering a security from one party to the next, you're blind to what happens on their systems. This is an open network. This is really what blockchain is good at.
So some of the benefits of tokenized collateral are things like, instantaneous settlement, 24/7 mobility without regard for regional time zones, business hours, et cetera. What we can do with this is really knock down the walls of the silos. In today's world, you might have one silo of assets for repo and a different one for your CSA business and a different one for your CCP business, and you'll have different operational teams, potential with different operational systems, and that's only in one region. You'll have the same duplicated in the US region and Europe and Asia. All of these different silos create a ton of friction when moving assets around, which makes it infeasible to really do it efficiently. What we can do with blockchain rails is really smooth out that entire process, so that in the Great Collateral Experiment we showed that you can have one net asset pool, a single net asset pool that can be used across all of your collateral agreement types, all of your counterparties globally, which can really help you to optimize your use of collateral and just bring a new level of efficiency into the game.
That's why you're the expert, Joe, on this topic. And I completely agree. I think that getting to the point of what clients are seeing or have seen through the experiment and what they're expecting for production is faster settlement, reduced risk by reducing the time between when assets move together, better visibility, greater efficiency of their operation, all pulled together, and really actually in some ways, and something that we haven't talked about as well, is greater capital efficiency. So there has been studies that have shown that overall the market can save somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion a day by means of using this type of technology to improve their collateral management process. So it's not just cost savings, it's not just theoretical risk. There's actually real dollars that can be saved in capital efficiency.
Yeah. So considering that we've mentioned a few times that interoperability is key, it's going to take a lot of market participants working together to jointly solve this problem. Why do you think DTCC is so well positioned to be the one to bring this product to market?
So there's a few things. One, obviously we're the largest CSD in the world. We have over 100 trillion worth of assets in our inventory that we are making available. So as a starting point, I think that just makes sense. It makes sense for us to be the center of gravity because we have that. The other thing though is that we have significant technological expertise. When we made the acquisition of Securrency more than 2 years ago, we brought in with us a wealth of experience and knowledge about how to build these tools, how to develop smart contracts, how to deploy them on various blockchains, and all those things were really moving forward. We also, a couple of years ago, created the Digital Asset Security Control Principle framework alongside other FMIs, by the way. So this is not just DTCC doing it on our own. It's really working collaboratively with the market, but taking a real leadership position. And that enables us to do it in a way that leverages our knowledge and experience and expertise, our position in the market. And really, as I was saying before, clients are looking to us. They're looking to us for solutions, and we have the ability to provide it and the ability to work with them in a meaningful way.
So things in this space are moving very fast. It's been 1 year since the Great Collateral Experiment, and a lot has happened. If you take out your crystal ball and you look 1 year from now, what are we going to be talking about?
So I always say my crystal ball is usually broken, but I have a really good compass. And I think that a year from now, that's not too far away to make some predictions. I think a year from now, we'll start seeing meaningful adoption of the tokenization service in general. And I think we're seeing meaningful adoption for the use of those tokenized assets for deployment in collateral of all purposes, but particularly for our app chain. I think that we'll see greater interoperability between assets across the globe, so similar to what we showed in the Collateral Experiment. And I do think that the adoption of tokenized money will start to really come to bear with respect to financial transactions. So today, there's huge adoption of stablecoins and the like. We're seeing tokenized bank deposits come online. We're starting to see clearing potentially of stablecoins. And all those things are driving financial systems to more blockchain rails. And when that happens, that's when really the magic happens. When you have more assets on chain, you're going to be driven towards creating that interoperable layer that we need to make this happen. So I'm certainly expecting real adoption going into next year. So in 2027 is when we really will start to see the adoption grow. We'll start to see usage of tokenized forms of money, again, stable coins, tokenized deposits. We'll also see new forms of exchanges come to bear where the crypto and traditional markets will come closer together, whether that be bringing exchanges on chain, whether that be bringing DeFi type protocols for use in traditional assets. And then the 24/7 nature of the markets are moving in that direction anyway. We'll start to see the need for the collateral adoption, need to post collateral on Saturday and not wait till Monday, to need to look at what you're doing overnight to match your trading to your collateral needs. And so that's going to be a real driver when we're seeing that already in the markets.
And of course, that implies the need for higher bandwidth and throughput on chain, the need for privacy for certain on-chain private transactions, et cetera. All of these things are enhancements that will be needed to form that big picture future that you're talking about.
Right, and one of the things maybe we didn't talk about is that we are currently in a blockchain world, and we do expect to continue to be in a multi-blockchain world where certain blockchains are fit for certain purpose, certain blockchains are used already for a variety of purposes and needs, and we will definitely need to see that the interoperability, as you mentioned, in some cases privacy is required, in some cases speed is required, and where DTCC really fits in the picture and where we bring our expertise to bear is that we've developed technology using a variety of blockchains. Our app chain sits in between and is able to interoperate with other types of blockchains and other types of assets so that we are prepared for the future, this multi-chain future, this multi-asset future. And that's really what we're building towards right now.